What's the difference between a phrase, a clause, and a sentence? Let's understand the difference through this sentence. The boy who was wearing a red shirt ran quickly. Do you know what is the definition of a clause? A clause is a group of words having a subject and a verb, and the subject and the verb should be logically connected to each other. What is the subject of a sentence? A subject is the doer of something. If someone or something does something, then it is, or he or she, is the subject of the clause or the sentence. Clara is singing. Clara is the subject. Sam is plowing his field. Sam is the subject. So, someone or something doing something in a clause or a sentence is the subject. What is being done is the verb, obviously. Coming back to the original sentence, the boy who was wearing a red shirt ran quickly. Remember that a clause must have a subject and a verb. In this sentence, we can find multiple clauses. The boy was wearing a red shirt. The boy ran quickly. Who was wearing a red shirt? The boy plus was wearing. The boy plus ran quickly. Who plus was wearing. These are all combinations of a subject and a verb. These are all clauses. A sentence can have multiple clauses as long as every clause has a subject and a verb. Who was wearing, by the way, is called a dependent clause because although it has a subject and a verb, to make sense it depends on the remaining sentence. The boy was wearing is a complete clause in itself. The boy ran quickly is also a complete clause in itself, but when you say who was wearing, it leaves you hanging. Why is who was wearing a dependent clause? It has a subject, who, and it has a verb, was wearing, so by definition it is a clause. We know that it is not a question such as who was wearing. It is a part of the larger expression, the boy who was wearing. Because otherwise you don't know what the clause is talking about. You don't know who or what the subject actually is. Dependent clauses normally begin with who, when, because, although, if, while, such as who was eating, when sleeping, because I was tired, although he tried hard, if it rains tomorrow, while she was cooking. Coming to phrases. A phrase is also a group of words, and these words must be logically connected to each other. But a phrase does not have the subject verb combination. It simply gives you a small piece of information. In the sentence, the boy who was wearing a red shirt ran quickly, you have the following phrases. The boy, which is a noun phrase, was wearing, which is a verb phrase, a red shirt, which is a noun phrase, and ran quickly, which is a verb phrase. As you can see, the phrase the boy may not give you enough information, but on its own, it's a complete expression. Similarly, a red shirt gives you a small bit of information, but that information is complete. Was wearing also gives you a very tiny bit of information, but it is complete. Therefore, a clause is a part of a sentence that has a subject and a verb. A phrase is a part of a sentence that contains a tiny bit of complete information but does not have a subject and a verb. It may have just a subject and it may have just the verb but not the combination. A sentence of course is the whole thing. The boy who was wearing a red shirt ran quickly. A sentence gives you the complete picture. A sentence may have multiple phrases and multiple clauses. Let's now see a sentence with multiple phrases and multiple clauses and even multiple sentences. The old man who lived near the river opened the wooden door and his dog barked loudly when the children ran across the garden. You can say that this sentence has two sentences joined by the conjunction and these two sentences are the old man who lived near the river opened the wooden door. His dog barked loudly when the children ran across the garden. Let's see how many clauses this sentence has. The old man opened the wooden door, who lived near the river. His dog barked loudly. The children ran across the garden. When the children ran across the garden. Both who lived near the river and when the children ran across the garden are dependent clauses because to make complete sense, they depend on the main sentence. But otherwise, since they have a subject and a verb, they are clauses. Now the phrases in the sentence. We know that a phrase is a logical combination of words in a sentence, but it does not have a subject and a verb. Repeat after me. A phrase does not have a subject and a verb, but a clause has it. Here is a list of phrases in our chosen sentence. The old man, a noun phrase. Near the river, prepositional phrase. The wooden door, noun phrase. His dog, noun phrase. Barked loudly, verb phrase. The children, noun phrase. Across the garden, prepositional phrase. So, in the end, a sentence gives you a complete picture. Ideally, you shouldn't have to ask any question to make sense of a sentence. A sentence may have multiple sentences joined by conjunctions, it may have multiple clauses, and it may have multiple phrases. A clause is a group of words within a sentence that has its own set of subject and verb. Every clause has one subject and one verb. All the words within a clause should be logically connected. It gives you a single piece of information. In the sentence, Philip is jumping on the bed. Philip is jumping is a clause because Philip is the subject and is jumping is the verb. It gives you a complete picture. A phrase is a collection of logically connected words in a sentence, but it does not have a subject and a verb. It gives you a tiny bit of information and that's it. In the sentence, Philip is jumping on the bed. Is jumping is a phrase, or rather a verb phrase. This brings me to the end of the video on the difference between a phrase, a clause, and a sentence. I hope you found this video useful. If yes, please like it, subscribe to my channel, or click the bell icon so that you receive a notification when I upload my next video.